welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 12 of coloring Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where we are finally closing in on the dwarfs. Now, the last time I was like whiting out his beard and his eyebrows. I did finally get to Googling them, so now I do know their names. Pretty sure this is Happy. That's good. That is something to focus on. Let's be happy. You can learn from that. Alright, now, last time we did the grass, some flowers, the water, which I do think it turned out really nice. I mean, it's not quite like the original water, but I feel like that is the most watery water that I have ever really colored. I do feel like some things are still a bit off, like the black on the bridge. I don't like that, so I'm gonna go in there first, because those lines are, well, they are asking to be gone. So I'm gonna try that with the brush. I'm just gonna start with that, and then I can start coloring, and that can get some time to dry. I also feel like that is a bit off color-wise. I mean, the bridge itself I like, even though it's not perfect. But I feel like that little bit underneath should probably get, I don't know. I do actually feel like if I just put a little bit of this on top of it, I might just solve that problem. Makes it look like it's underneath. Just very light pressure. Just go over that. Here we go. Alright, that looks good. So, because these lines, they are really, really black. Is the pencil. I keep being followed by a black pencil. We're gonna get to him next, but first I just want to get that done, because over here it's just more subtle. I'm not too happy about that line either. I mean, the other I'm okay with, but while we are here, I might as well, let's just add that to the mix as well. It does seem to be flowing a lot better than the last time. That is good. Now, if you don't have anything to white it out with, or you feel like in your version it all looks good enough, then, you know, do take this time to like and subscribe. Because there is still so much more to come. Alright, now, yesterday I was actually on recording part 11. That will be yesterday for me. But at the current upload speed, I'm guessing that is 2 days ago if you watched it straight away. But I was like complaining I was a bit dizzy. I was getting a light headache, and I have that today too. It's kind of following me around. I do hope that that shakiness that I have, I mean, that does seem to still be here. I usually have that, especially when tracing lines, which is what I'm doing right now. I definitely should have done this before, but I guess this will be a nice way to show if you can or cannot do it once it's already colored. I feel like you can. I was just too annoyed by how black it really is. I mean, it already looks better. I feel it looks more like the original. I was already feeling like that when I was actually doing 12, or well, 11, 12. Where are we? It's like so confusing. I feel like I'm being a bit of a klutz right now, but well, that will get rid of the black lines. But yesterday, or well, in part 11, I should just call it that. When we were in part 11, I already kind of noticed that the lines were black. I don't know if I mentioned it. Maybe not. That is not exactly relevant, but I was really feeling like, should I, shouldn't I? But I have like this rule for myself, and maybe a tip for others. Like, if you're kind of doubting, then just leave it for a bit. Come back to it and then, see how you feel about it. I did have every intention to just continue after 11, because now I'm kind of confusing myself, because I always recorded two in one day, so then we have like the odd number and the even number. So, whenever I would sit down here for the first take of the day, it would always be an odd number. But because I don't know, my headache was actually growing, so rather than continuing, I just went for a nap. So I kind of came in here thinking, wait, 12, that's an even number. It can't be. But it is. Luckily I write it down. Of course, I could just check the recording, like what's the last thing I recorded. Also uploaded a new video, or well, I got it ready to upload, because it actually takes some time, and I don't know, I want to be somewhat consistent, in case you are actually like waiting for me to upload. It would be nice if I actually get some consistency in there, so I just get that ready, and you can put that on a timer. So alright, I'm not sure I want to do those lines in between, but we are busy anyways. Might not have to color over that though. I mean, that with on the grass we definitely have to, but maybe on the bridge we could just leave a few things. I was mentioning gel pens last time, because I use paint markers myself. But I'm thinking, maybe I could get some gel pens or something and just do highlights that way. Alright, now most of this is going to be dry pretty fast, but, might as well go into, well, we were going to start with that, well, I guess the entrance. And I'm going to start with the one pencil that keeps rolling away, because there's some very dark parts in there, and I go for just black. So that will be my black poly. I feel like it's more black than the Pablo, although I do have ivory black 496. Yeah, it's less black, but alright, now I feel like it's dry enough and didn't want to smudge it. But so this is like the poly black, and I also added, what was it, the ivory black, which is less black but still black. And the actual black, I don't know if I can really get that to show up on camera. Best way to do it like this, but it feels, yeah, you can definitely see on camera how this one is more black, and these were done like a year before I did these, so they may have faded a bit. Was that all of the poly? Yes. Alright, now I'm just going to start with my odd choices. I had a few greens, I think. This was the 241, which is on my green list, which is this one, because I feel like those areas, I don't know. I mean, I used that same color in the sky, so I feel it makes sense. I'm going to use the olive brown, and the gold makes it impossible to read, but I'm just going to go in here, which is the, well, I'll call it 39. And that's probably going to be over here, because there's some green bits in there, and I'm seeing those over there too. For that same reason, I got the olive black, which is the 19. That's just kind of a combo with that. And then I got, this is going to be a bit surprising, that is the purplish red 350. Let me get that chart with that as well. This has this one, because I feel like there's a little bit of purple going on in there. So I don't know if I'm really going to use it, but I grabbed it anyways. And I have the apricot, the 41, which is again kind of for the outside part. There's like yellowish things, and felt like that would be good, so that's enough for that tray. So now we are into, well, I think it's again a lot of beiges, which is why I got this set, because with my polys that would be difficult. But I got the light beige 402 for probably the lightest areas, and then I think this is the beige, yes, the 403. I grabbed, well, the brownish beige. I basically got all the beiges. Brownish beige 404. And then we are into this list, I believe, for the brown ochre, the 37. Because, well, I mean, basically when I put it like this, you can already kind of see how that goes in there. And the pencil that got into an argument with my sharpener, that would be Van Dyke Brown, and that's the 045. Where are you? That's not on this page. That is on this page. Because it's just nice brown. So let's just see where we could get started. I think on the dark part, where I'm definitely going to grab that black first, which is the poly black. And, well, let's just dive in. Alright, because this is just, wow, it's mostly just black. I'm just going to go in with the black. I do kind of have the camera in my way now, but if I just move it a little bit, yes, as long as you can see what I'm doing, and I can see what I'm doing, that's not entirely a detail. If I don't see what I'm doing, then the result is going to be debatable. Not sure what I did, like the lines on his eyebrow there, but alright, so it does seem very, very, very dark, but I'm just gonna first go in. It's just a normal, well, a normal light pressure, I think. And it's not exactly very light, because then you kind of get that. So, medium-ish, light to medium pressure, because it's going to be a dark area. Now, I don't want to go straight into making it black, because I might actually want to go over that with maybe a brownish color, or we will see. I was discussing kind of like feeling like bleh. I was feeling very bleh. So yesterday that was dizziness, and I don't know, for some reason it just became bad, where my vision started to blur as well. I don't know what that is, though I do have a, well, I have the mother of all headaches today. So I'm thinking migraine, but you know. Either way, it's annoying, whether it's a very bad headache or a migraine or bumping your pinky toe, your little toe. Is that your pinky toe? I almost called my pinky toe. Stepping on a Lego. I mean, whatever you call it. If you're in pain, you're in pain. This is kind of what I tried to talk about on previous chats as well. You know, things happen, and I will sort of talk about it, but I don't feel like getting too detailed is really necessary. Now, these rocks are so different from the reference. Let me just sort of get that in the screen. So I do feel like this part at the bottom should still be, well, I'm just going to go with that light black, but light black as in light pressure with my black. Light black. Pretty sure that's called gray. Depending on how light you go, because it could also be white. Wow, is it going to be one of those days? Alright, so good that we still have it. This little thing, I'm thinking is this. I'm just going to add that to all the blackness. But yeah, you know, I will kind of discuss things that are going on, but I'll keep it superficial, because we all have our problems, and you know, I want my channel to be about the coloring and not about me, but there is just no getting around me doing the coloring now, so it's more like I'm giving heads up that, you know, if I do have to cut it short, it's more like an editing thing. Because it would be weird if I go from one straight coloring into weird edited videos, which, you know, if you don't say it, people might not even notice it, but I just like being honest. It's actually, I was sort of editing yesterday, and because I couldn't get my focus back to coloring, so I was like, well, I still have editing to do, and just, you know, checking YouTube, and just someone else posting, see like other people posting videos about not feeling well and kind of hiding it, and I was thinking, wait, this is kind of my starting point. That's why I decided to just kind of not be too over enthusiastic and just, you know, make it manageable for the long run. Right, now there's something going on there too. I feel like I should show people what I'm doing. This is again one of those points where I think it would be useful to be able to see what I'm pointing at that reference, kind of like, what is she using? Although my finger would still be off, I see. Notice that a few times I'm kind of pointing next to what I'm using as a reference, so might not be helpful after all. But, oh well. I mean, with the grass, I kind of figured, yeah, that's just green. Should definitely not forget to go back to that. All right, so there's still a little bit of something over here. Although it also kind of looks like it's that, so I feel, well, this is kind of going, it's over his head. Well, I'll kind of continue that line that will end up right about there-ish. And it goes up to next to where that is, up to next to what? I have spent a lot of day hydrating, because usually when you have a headache and you just hydrate, not that I normally don't do that, because I was already feeling yeah. And I know that, you know, it's kind of like a golden rule when you feel sick, no matter what it is, hydrate. Just hydrate. Alright, stone with black around it. You know, I kind of... So I'm kind of feeling sort of lucky. I mean, I do have a headache. I did take some painkillers because it was not fun anymore. Not that any kind of headache is fun at any moment, but let's just say it wasn't quite manageable anymore. But I'm thinking, you know, what if I haven't been hydrating as much as I have, then, you know, the headache would have been way worse. So there is good in all the bad. I love that new sharpener, because now, actually, because I can get a decent point, I do actually feel like I have to sharpen less. I mean, alright, this is complicated. So this is part of that. So then right on top of that, or above that, is that little, go over in here. And so now apparently I'm a channel that gives health advice too. If you're sick, no matter what it is, hydrate. Which is not me saying overly hydrate, but you know, especially when you're not feeling well. It's one of those times that you really want to make sure that you, well, hydrate. What? Didn't think hydration was going to be the word of the day, but, well, here we are. Can you sort of see what I'm using? Yes, we can. And it doesn't have to be an exact match, because it's impossible. Which I mentioned when I was coloring flowers, I think that it's a good thing that it's not an exact match with the lines, otherwise you'd really be trying to replicate that. All right, now I see there's some sort of brown reddish going on. Now, considering I grabbed my Pablos for most of it, I feel like I should probably get, well, just brown, really. It feels like it could be it. Isn't it just lovely? This is burnt sienna. It's not what I need. Isn't it just wonderful that you buy a set of pencils, the very, good pencils, and then it has something simple as brown. So that would be the 059. I can just really appreciate that, within all these complicated names, they just added brown. All right, should I add one of these colors to that bridge? Because I feel like it's sort of dry. Now for that green, I'm going to go back to Poly 1112. I just realized that, I want to not forget about this. But I feel like if you go over that white, it does make it lighter a bit. Therefore, I want to go for a relatively dark green. And I see that might be a mistake. So I'm going to go over there with light green 171. Normally I grab my swatches, but I feel like it's not that bad, is it? I kind of just make it fade into the grass. Kind of just go like this. Then it doesn't really show. Kind of sort of go light. See? Yeah. There's a little bit over here, although I may just use that May green. And for me, they're all kind of scattered about 170. I'm so proud that I keep remembering to just name what I'm grabbing. Which is nice. We are in part 12 and I'm finally telling people what to use. All right. This I think is 182, which I feel like we use that on the bridge. Again, it's just to make sure that that white isn't white anymore. So if I just go lightly over that, I think it should give me the result that I'm after. Not that it's really white, and the black is still sort of there. It's just not as dominant. Feels kind of weird jumping back and forth, but I just feel like, if I don't do it now, I'll just forget about it. And then it will just look kind of weird. Then I have to spend part 13 on all the things that I forgot to go back to. I should have already put my colors away, so I'm not sure what I used on the bridge. But I feel like I can just do this. And I'm not using a whole lot of pressure on my pencil. It's more to get this color on that white line, and because the idea was not to replace the black lines with a white line. So. No, but I think I was talking about other people who were feeling kind of meh. And I get it, you always want to hide that, and I just figured I'll just throw it in there, because we all have those days. Although at the same time, I guess I had decided that, details are not really important. Alright, now I feel like I should go from that dark to the light, because it's just my preferred method. Now I have a few areas that are semi-dark, for which I'm going to use that charcoal, which is not on here. It's ivory, by the way. It's ivory black. So it's more like a gray, brownish kind of black. I don't know. Also notice how many typos there are on there. It's ridiculous. Should probably look into that. Although I'm not a grammar channel, but Oh well, let's just see. I mean, it doesn't really look any different. Not when you go very light. So, could have just done this with the poly. Actually, by right now it does look darker, but okay. Might be just tackling my own theory here. No, I could just do this one with the ivory, and then the rest with the poly black. But I don't know, somehow I found that that poly black is better. Well, better. I prefer it. There's no better or worse, really. Coloring is art. There is no right or wrong. But yeah, I figured, to get back to that whole subject of maybe not feeling well and hiding it, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go into details as much. Just the things that are maybe relevant. And blurry vision and shaky hands and stuff like that. I mean, for my coloring, that is relevant. Because if I can't see what I'm doing, which I kind of had yesterday, and I took so long on just that grass. I mean, it looks good. That is, that's the other side of it. It does look good. It took forever, but it looks good. But I don't know, maybe if I was feeling better, I would have been quicker. Or, it's not a race. It is not. All right. I'm not sure when I'm brushing the whole time, but and I grabbed the purple, so I'm just gonna do that purple bit right there. Just gonna put some purple there. Just purple it. I'm going to purple this. I mean, that way it's there, so I kind of remember, like, oh yeah, there's something purple going on here. I feel like he's using a lot. He used a lot of purple. Because, of course, I googled Mr. Kinkade as well. It is very sad. No more new paintings, but these are just so wonderful. Alright, I might have gone overboard with all the purple, but I do feel like a yes or no at that top, but there's a little bit over here. I'll just put some purple here. Is that purple? It is purple. It is purple now. Just do it. I'll also share like one of those working in progress pictures again. Because, gotta figure out what people think. Here I am just talking to myself because I do have I have people liking it. I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't really have any feedback yet, so I'm still wondering if anyone is really interested in what I'm doing here, but I'm gonna just keep going because I said I would, so I might as well just start it, might as well just finish it. Alright, that's it for the purple. Now we have that some green stuff going on. Green yuckies. Now this is that yucky green. I think it's a bit of a yucky green, isn't it? It's like algae. It's weird. So that 39, is this 30? Yes, it is 39. And we have some yucky green over here. It's not the name, it's olive brown, by the way. It doesn't say yucky green. I do feel like I'm starting to feel better. I'm not sure why. Probably because I'm letting it go, or I'm just accepting the fact that I feel meh, rather than telling everyone I feel great. Well, I'm really feeling meh. Alright, so we have... Alright, just move that. I'm trying to figure out where the green is supposed to go. Because it's kind of like next to his little cheek thingy here. I think it's here-ish. Because we have this is going to be that, and then that is that. Already smushed some purple in. That is that. So let me just put it over here. I'm just figuring out where the Yuki green goes. Like I was talking about something and I completely lost it. Because, coloring. Oh well. I guess there's going to be more and more of those little quiet moments, which might actually speed up the coloring process. I am still in the screen. Good. Felt like I was coloring somewhere else. Off screen. Like coloring backstage. I've been thinking about like doing live, because that would actually sort of enable direct feedback. So I guess that would be nice. But also, questions and stuff. But no, I guess I have to just wait for the channel to sort of pick up if it ever does, and then we shall see, because I'm open to it. I'm already making a fool out of myself, so might as well do that live. I'm not doing a whole lot of editing on things I said, like, oh, I have to take that out. I just leave all that nonsense in. And there's still, like, sometimes I have, like, a little annoying noise on the mic, and then I kind of feel like, yeah, but I'm also talking. You don't hear that while you are recording. The problem is, if you actually, if it's like you start talking about something, and you cut it out, then, further along, it kind of is like, what is she talking about? Alright, I grabbed my brown. I'm just going to see if I can sort of put that in here. Yeah, this is weird. So here's this darker line. I'm just going to blot that brown in. We'll just see what the exact color is going to be later, but I feel like this is sort of what I want. Just to wash it over a little bit, like a brown wash. That's not part of him, that's good. Alright, I do feel like there's another color going on there. Just not sure what it is. It might actually be that burnt sienna that I put. What I feel like, yeah. I feel like, yeah. Okay. I feel like, yeah. Okay, burnt sienna it is. I mean, I still love that sharpener. When you look at that, that's vicious. I did actually read a review about this book that someone said it's ridiculous. You have to color it with needles. Yep. Am I on screen? Yes, I am. I've been doing the editing and wondering if I should like zoom in more, but then I'd be zooming in and out the whole time because I moved the book around a lot as well. Probably too chaotic to really zoom in. I might be able to find a way to do that in editing. Could experiment with that starting now, I guess. But that would kind of require me to keep the book from moving so that I can like zoom in on it while editing. And I'd have to find out if my video quality is high enough to do that, because with that flowers it was just ridiculous. You couldn't see what I was doing. Granted, I couldn't see what I was doing either, but still managed to color it inside the lines. Proud of that. Now, there's something very dark going on down there. So I feel like I'm gonna still grab a few other colors, which is that 407. Seems to be one of my favorites. If I can find it. And I figured I would make it a little bit faster by just, pre-selecting my colors. But then as you're going, you're kind of figuring out that you forgot about this and you forgot about that. And, well, I forget about stuff, generally speaking, so no surprises there, really, but I forget things. Though I got better at naming my colors. I have noticed that sometimes I'm like a rock star with naming them, and then at some point I just stop. Leave you all to wonder what the hell I'm doing. What color is that? She didn't name it. Nope. And I have moments where I'm trying to edit it and just add the info there. But because I didn't mention it, when I'm editing, I can't figure it out either. So I'm kind of like, well, okay, that's too bad, I guess. And can't always get it perfect. I'm so tempted to move the book, but I did say I was going to maybe zoom in, so that means I cannot move the book too much. Although this video is probably going to end up without any zooming whatsoever, so I'm just coloring in weird angles for no good reason. Alright, now let's just see if I can also go with that ivory black, because I felt like that was actually doing better on this paper. I'm not sure why, but it's just it's just that feeling it gives you. The feeling your material, your mediums, your stuff, your whatnot gives you. Like I had that with drawing was a very nice example. Like I got like a new book, because I don't know, paper and the old book seemed to disagree with me. So I got a new book, and then, it was a new book, and all of a sudden I could draw, because I felt good, because I had a new book. Probably couldn't have drawn the same thing in the old book, though, but once you get it in your head that there's like something wrong with the materials you're using, so kind of like me, once I get it in my head that this black is just better, it might not be, but I don't know, to me it is. Alright, I feel like it's starting to look like nothing just yet, but we'll get there. We will get there. It's like such a weird area. It's like I need the other set, though. Because maybe if I go over that with that burnt sienna, it would turn into something. But I have another. Yeah, that's basically the brown. So, okay. I'm just going to grab that burnt sienna, which I put somewhere. Is this it? Ooh, good. No, you gotta sort of make an opinion, form an opinion about what you're using. And I have some pencils that I just came to hate. And because I hate them, I probably can't really do anything with them, because, I don't know, everything that goes wrong, you're kind of like frustrated with the pencils, and therefore you're not really going to look for any kind of solution on how can I get this better. You're just going to be, well, the pencils ruined it. So there's a balance in things. This was that 407. I'm just gonna splash it. I'm gonna splash a little bit of darkness on here, because these stones, they are dark, but they are not. Does that make sense? Alright, now we're gonna sort of add this and see how that's gonna look. It's still not dark enough. I'll just go into that ivory black. I mean, me preferring the polys at some point might also have to do with the fact that I've had them longer. I mean, I haven't really been working with the Pablos for too long. I'm still getting used to them, still getting to know them. I already feel like I know them well enough to call them awesome. I love them. Especially in combination with my polys. But at the start I felt like I was really going somewhere, but now I feel like I've spent an hour on a few rocks. This is... yeah, I could just name the time that I have on my recording screen right now, but that wouldn't help. Alright, so now I picked the apricot, which is somewhere. Is this kind of feeling like I could use it? I am going to use it. I'm just gonna splash it on there like it's actually liquid. It's not. I was actually looking into new pencils. I'm not gonna name the brand, but because it's not relevant, but I haven't bought them anyways. Alright, 404, which is not this list. I always got the wrong list. 404 is that brownish beige. I don't know why I grabbed it, but I'm gonna start making these look like rocks. I was looking into those pencils and they actually had like a picture of like, well, the back, where these are all sealed off. Although from the other side you can still kind of see. Can you see if I put that? Yeah, that is about as impossible as it's gonna get. Ooh, let's just see if I can get you to focus. See? Yeah, I guess you can still sort of see if it's centered. Wow, that was weird. But they actually had like product pictures. They look like nice pencils, definitely. But then they had like a pile of pencils just all nice stacked up, and you could see the back, and you could just see that the core was off. I was like, wait, what? That is your proud product picture with the core not being centered? I mean, if they're cheap, then, you know. Because that's another tip. Just, you know, have a good look at those product pictures. They might actually display their own flaws. Alright, now I feel like I should go a little bit darker. And I feel like I should use... Do I really feel like using that? Or because I now have that one as well. So I was actually thinking about grabbing that from Dyke Brown, but I feel like I should go for burnt sienna instead. Because, yeah, that's already on there and it's not dark enough. Alright. Van Dyke Brown it is. We are going to do this. You're going to get a few rocks colored at least. It's taken forever. Really, really, really is. But the result is, I think it's looking good. I have been, like I mentioned earlier, you know, that whole taking a picture and just sharing it. It's just for me to kind of, well, I guess, get a sort of feedback in the meantime. But one of the things that I was actually kind of happy to read was a lot of people asking me how I did it. I'm like, well, isn't that why I'm making the videos? So, you know, looking at it that way, I would almost think that people actually want me to do this. Although now that I'm doing it, they might be wondering why they asked me how I did it in the first place. But, you know, in hindsight, huh? Well, it goes for a lot of things in life. Alright. It does make me feel better, though, because I feel like I'm taking forever. And let's be honest, I am. But I do feel like I really couldn't have gotten this result any other way. Because those blurry mountains in the back, I mean, you can now see that there's like different sections to it. So it's not just one color. And I don't think I could have done that a lot faster. Probably this is the beige because I figured rather than... Yay! I don't know, I love this. I love the Pablos for their assorted beiges. Beiges? Wow. It's one of those days. I guess rambling is good. I guess that does mean that I am starting to feel a bit better. Alright, now I feel like if I just go over that with the apricot, then I shall bring it to life. Which is an entirely different sort of movie, but oh well. Yes, yes, it's alive. Wow. All I need is an Igor now. Alright, I feel like I should just stop and sort of start coloring other things as well. This is starting to feel like those beans. Alright, so assorted beiges it is. I do feel like I don't need that burnt sienna, so I'm just going to sort of put it away. Which is my upside down in the tin thing. I had the brown. I do feel there's a little something going on there. And I'm not sure if that is brown or, yeah, well, I feel like, yes, that is brown. That is, yeah, definitely. I should get that hand out of the way and see if I can get that thing to focus, because, well, over there. Anyways, I feel like it's brown. Yeah. Still trying to remind myself that I should focus on not just saying the exact color I'm using, but also kind of trying to describe it. Because, you know, I did want to enable people with different sets to color along, so by now that's become a great mess. But if you're still here, then yay, thank you for trying. You are such a determined person. I might not be completely useless. I might actually be saying smart things. I might be. I have been like going through and I'm so philosophical at sometimes. Like, why? Alright, so we have green. Green, green. Are we on screen? Green, green. Yes. Then we have that blob. Ooh, blob. I actually made myself buy gummy bears. Alright, so I made that dark, which is kind of what it had to be. But I feel like it's like green with purple, and I'm just gonna add purple. Well, purple, what was it? Purplish red. So it's a debatable color. I like that. I'm all about debatable colors and about overusing words like debatable, blob, suggestive. Because, I don't know, that's a me thing. Could be a me thing. I just like calling things blobs. Sure could find a more fascinating way to say it. You know, a way that makes me sound all educated. Well, big fat boo-hoo, I'm here to color. Brown ochre. Why did I grab that? I was gonna go for it. What? Yes, exactly. That's what I wanted. I'm just not sure what I'm doing. I'm just making it worse. Well, it will turn out nice. I have learned as much by now. Alright, so that brown ochre is kind of the shading of everything else with a splash of green. Hey, not a blob. It's a splash. Splash is a word now. Is it gonna be that yucky one, or do I feel like olive gray seems like a more lively one than the other three, so I'm just gonna grab that because I want to bring things to life. Olive gray still has that is a workable point, so everywhere where I'm gonna go do that shading, I'm just gonna start adding splashes. Alright. Wait. There's a thingy there. I don't have a thingy here. I'm missing a thingy. I want the thingy. Where are you? Why doesn't it have a thingy? Oh, I get it. I get it. Whoever did the line art was kind of like, yeah, but it's like 1, 2, 3, but there's 4 dwarfs. I get it. I get it. Because now we have 4 of them. Yes. Wow. Is it going to be one of those? Wow. Should we call it an episode? Well, as long as it's not going to be a season 2 of this page, because that will be a thing. We do still have that other half of the page, which is further along in the book. I mean, we could just call that season 2. Get your popcorn out. Buckle up. Crazy Dodo coloring. Alright. Just go up here. Why not? Just do that. I am all about randomness. Alright. What is this? This is... Wow. I mean, I'm looking at the screen and it looks like bruises and bumps. It's like I'm adding all these colors and I kind of fell down the stairs or stepped on a Lego. And so that is that, or that's what I decided anyway. So there's like a green thing here. There's a green thing. Because I said so. Alright, I'm putting the green away. Alright, now we go back to that brown ochre. Yes. Wow, I'm becoming happy for no apparent reason. Ooh. Yeah, well, there's something to talk about because I did have a little trip to did some grocery shopping. And then, there was candy because, supermarkets have candy. And I remember that I said blob a lot. And there's like the suggestion of something. Repeating words. And like, I think it was with, when I was still doing markers where I mentioned, we should turn it into a drinking game. But then, not everyone drinks. Not everyone is old enough to drink or whatever. Why ever you don't drink or do drink. So maybe we could do like a gummy bear challenge. But I didn't get the gummy bears because, I don't know, they had those little Coke bottles. I always loved those. Like every now and then you just want candy. That's a me thing, or it's an everyone thing. It's kind of like with simple things you can put on a sandwich. Every now and then you just want, I don't know, a cheese sandwich because you haven't had one for a while. Had that with candy too. They also have those tiny strawberry squishy gummy. I don't know, they're so yummy. I mean, the dentist is gonna enjoy that too, because woohoo! So, of course, I will brush my teeth, but I feel like that stuff is just attacking your teeth while it's in the package. So, alright, there's a lot of purple and stuff, and these are some very weird looking rocks, aren't they? Huh. There is stuff going on there. Stuff. I don't know what kind of color that stuff is, but I feel like I should get the apricot. 41. I'm so chaotic today. It's probably because I finally have a little bit more energy or something, which might have something to do with candy. Maybe, just maybe, sugar. Oh my god. How to scare people away in part 12. I mean, 1, make a part 12. We are here forever. Although, judging by the reactions that I had when I posted it, people do actually wonder how I did this. And so apparently people like it. So I feel like it kind of shows. I did put in a lot of time, but it feels like it's starting to show. I mean, I already kind of felt like that. It's just nice when someone else tells you. Alright. That is not a word. That is not even a sentence. What are you doing, Dodo? Alright. We are going into... I'm just gonna grab salmon, because rocks are pink. They are. We all know that. I mean, this is going to be scary. Because that part down there kind of has purple and there's so many colors going on. Why? I'm just going to lightly put that in there. I don't know if this is light, because this is, well, I haven't really been layering anything in here, so I'm just going to start coloring it pink. It just amazes me how I already had like a whole plan and I had all these colors pre-selected, because I showed them, like, we are going to use this, and then I just grabbed 20 other pencils, like, oh, I'm also going to use, it's not confusing to color along with me at all, you know. Luckily it's not. Luckily you can just figure out what the weird dodo is doing. Oh, he's just glad that I know what I'm doing. I don't. Still haven't quite figured out what my technique is. I mean, I'm just kind of, I color. That's what I do. Oh my god. Well, that looks like an interesting mountain, doesn't it? But, you know, looking at that, kind of looks like I know what I'm doing. So I will make this work. This is one of those fun parts, isn't it? This is going to end up as a screenshot for sure. Like, what are you doing? This is grayish. See, we are already going into grabbing a million different colors, because I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, no. Wow, where's my other one? Should I just at Royal Blue Violet 130. I feel, why not? I mean, this seems very dark, but if you're just gonna do it very light, I mean, it doesn't look like anything is gonna match, but we'll go light. Looking at what I have right now, it just looks like I've completely lost my mind. It's like I'm turning this into a rainbow. And I kind of am. Guess I'm just really trying to replicate that, which is, well, I have said it myself, it's not really possible because you use paint. So now I'm creating a rainbow. I'm kind of curious if this is going to end up okay, but oh well. Go and start it now. Yeah, stick to it. Just trust the process. Alright, now we're just going to instantly save it or bring it all together, because, you know, by now you all got to be definitely convinced that I've lost it. So that, I don't know, I feel like I should go for that Van Dyke brown first and do the darker areas. I mean, that brown is going to be different. Oh, I had that. Whoa, that was a nice stab, wasn't it? Well, 407. I'm just getting aggressive here. Very aggressive. Just, no need for that. Can we see what I'm doing? Yes, we can see what I'm doing. Just slowly go up. And this is like that very dark area, so I'll just sort of add that too. Because, you know, this is the part where we're gonna have to make it look like something. It just looks so weird. Alright, so that was that one. So now we are definitely into Van Dyke Brown, the 045. Because I feel like that's like a dark beige or something. Just gonna go into here as well. Because at some point we're gonna have to stop adding blues and purples and pinks and yellows and greens and Wow, was there a color I haven't used on these? Haven't really gone into red yet, but well, that counts as reddish. So basically, if you have 120 set, gotta use them all. That's kind of what we're doing today. Just you paid for them, use them. It's your right. All right. Speaking of right, all right. Brownish beige. I don't know. I just feel like I'm overusing the beige in the Pablo set, but it's kind of folding my page, which is not good. Get my bracelet that's stuck on the corner. I feel like I'm really missing this in that poly set. And the poly have like browns that, on the other hand, I'm missing in the Pablo set. So, like I mentioned before, you know, they just complement each other, which I feel is good. It's not the same brand, but they go well hand in hand. Alright, I feel like this is, let's just kind of get that out of the way. Maybe it looks different, but we are getting there. Alright, now I felt like using ivory here. So it's not the Pablo black, because the Pablo actually has two blacks, a black and a ivory black. Alright, and then we're gonna go over that with that sepia. I'm gonna go with sepia. I'm just gonna call it sepia, and you know, if that's wrong, drop it in the comments, along with any questions. By the way, what are you doing? I don't count that as a question. I don't have an answer for that. I'm just doing it. That's kind of how I mentioned it in one of the alcohol marker coloring chat thingamies. That, yeah, I really just color. Alright, beige? I'm guessing beige, 403. I really just color. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, which I feel is actually the beauty of it, because I'm just kind of, I feel the pencils, and which is, well, I'm holding it, so of course I'm feeling it. So I kind of trying to have a sense of what they are doing on the paper. And I don't know, I mean, some people say that you definitely have to layer these, and I'm not sure if I'm doing that. I do know that when I'm deliberately trying to layer, then it doesn't work. So I guess that's like my lesson of today. Just color the way you want. Light beige, 402. So now before you dive into techniques, which this would have been a nice speech for the first one, really. But I feel like before you dive into techniques and whatnot, just color. Kind of figure out what it is you do. And if you like the result, well then, who cares about technique? Just use your own. It would be nice to learn that you have a technique, but... Alright, there's like, well, there's actually black going in there. I don't have a line. I'm just gonna make it. I'm just gonna add a bit of that darkness. A little bit of that shading, because adding darkness just seems a bit ominous. And that would be very fitting for the one of the other version of Snow White. Alright, just yeah, I do have that problem with the lighting, so once I kind of move those, it becomes so different. I gotta be careful with moving the lights. Oh my god, I looked up in the lights. Just not the first time I do that. Alright, that one light beige. Alright, so now I'm gonna definitely go into that ivory black. Ow. I am so chaotic today. I'm a bit hyperactive. It's like ADHD, overdrive. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten candy, but you know, it's candy. I had to. Gummy bear challenge. Well, gummy bear, well, it's not really a challenge, it's a gummy bear game, because if it's like a replacement of a drinking game, then it's a gummy bear game. Have a gummy bear when I repeat myself. Have a gummy bear when I say blob. Have a gummy bear when I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing the whole time. I am just doing it. And I was pretty sure I was giving people the advice to just, basically do that, Find the way that you color and color like that, Find a technique that suits the way you color. I mean, for some people it might actually work to just read up on a technique or look it up on YouTube and, really make it their own. For me, it just didn't work. Didn't seem to work anyways. So I stopped looking at those videos because I found them frustrating. It's just not for me. I go back to default settings every time. So then I try to layer, and before you know it, I'm just doing my own thing. Or maybe I am layering and I'm just looking at it differently. See, it is starting to look like a bit of a... I need to get that light off because it's like so reflective. This is better. Right, now there is something. There's a little bit of something in there. I'm just going to call it purple. Oh, right. I'll just keep bumping into the light. That's not working either. So this is a very hyperactive color alone, I guess. Alright. Beige, because it's my go-to color. Beige, 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 beige. And then I'm going to have to darken it, which I'm going to do with that sepia 407. I was going to call it sepia, right? I wasn't going to go for sepia. Well, this is going to take forever, though. Spent an hour, but we did also do that, so... We did reach that lovely part when things are going to come together. I'm going to need a very good pointer. It's so fiddly in here. So that probably means part 13 might be a dwarf. Might be. We are working towards them. Ever so slowly, but a slow dwarf is a dwarf. Slow dwarfs are dwarfs too, yeah. I just spent forever turning that rock into a rainbow. What it feels like anyways. And I'm sort of going around these starry thingies. I could color them. I don't know if I would still be able to see them. Because we're going to go over that with a... Well, I'm going to use a Posca. But a white gel pen will probably work too. Or maybe even that Pit Artist brush pen thing could work. White ink. Yeah, whatever you use to make things white. And I just use what I have, but again, I want to make it accessible. I am very aware that I'm still so chaotic at some points, and there's like things that I'm mentioning now when I'm thinking, wow, that would have been so useful if you just said that in part 1. But, well, I'm still kind of new to coloring, chatting, and, my default settings are also be chaotic, just go with the flow. And I just love that. Some people would go hysterical. So, some people might actually not enjoy these videos because I'm all over the place. But you know, I do feel like I'm organized with my chaos or something. Could be worse. It could be worse. Just a lot of times while I'm coloring, I just come up with something and be like, oh yeah. So that doesn't mean that I didn't plan ahead. It just means that I got distracted. Because I do that. Now, if I want to make this really black, because I feel like I'm failing so bad, I will come back to this. Alright, now I'm actually trying that Pablo to see if I can make it better. I feel like it's sort of doing something. I also feel like I should just remove one of these lights, kind of get the lights out of the way. But I do have a trick to make this very black. I'm just not sure if I want to do that yet. So I will keep that trick up my sleeve. And I will get to that in a bit if I need it. And well, if not, then it'll be in my little secret. Not that I really have many, but I don't have coloring secrets. Guess I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm supposed to keep it a secret. Alright, going up. Now I'm just gonna go up straight with that Pablo. I mean, this is such a messy black area. But I will fix it. Yeah, this is definitely gonna get darkened. But I wanna probably do the surrounding areas first. Because it's gonna be a bit of a thing to... It's gonna be permanent black then. And it is not gonna harm the page underneath. But I know because it's a preference thing, I'll just kind of keep it for now. Because I want it to be very black. Alright, so now we are going into, well, the rest. So I feel like that light beige, I should get that 241 light lemon yellow, which was that one. And I'm just going to put that a little bit on the outside. Because, you know, there is like sunlight. And in the sky, we use this color as well. We use this color in many places to kind of indicate light areas. I mean, I could just be preemptive and add. Yes, let's just go in there. Let's just do this. Because I feel like I'm going to regret it if I don't. And we're sort of here now anyway. This is kind of one of those moments to remind you to like and subscribe. Because, you know, I forget about that too. And so far I have been uploading these rather regularly. I mean, I said I would probably do it every other day. Which, for now, I'm still doing. I mean, there might, of course, be maybe a day. Because I have been feeling off, like not well. So there might be days when, you know, maybe not, but I mean, I can pretty much guarantee that up until part 7 I did every other day. I mean, they're not all up while I'm coloring this. They are definitely not, because I already mentioned that I now have, I think it was part 5 ready to go online, so it's like waiting to be published. But I've already done editing part 6 and 7, so those are going to be put online every other day. So I feel like I can probably keep that up. So I feel safe to say that, you know, if you do subscribe, then, you know, the rest of these videos are going to show up every other day. Now, I don't know how it's going to be for future videos, but we will see. Time will tell. Alright, now, do we need any of this? And yeah, we're just gonna... We are busy anyways. This is gonna be a long one again, which my phone is really hating. It's like saving them is becoming a problem because while it's saving, it's kind of moving files, like temporary files, so it actually needs room for those as well. So my phone is kind of struggling by now. So it keeps telling me to just move things, like make some room, which is why I lost one of my editings because I was trying to save it, and then I was moving things, and then somehow I managed to move something, and I don't know. I did move it back, or, well, I feel like I didn't move it at all, because those were actually the recordings of part 6 that were apparently he couldn't find. They were all still in the same spot. Never moved them. But I guess that has something to do with, I don't know, hooking it up to my computer, and I don't know. I mean, I would do my editing on my laptop if I could run any kind of editing software on there. But my laptop was not bought for that. It was just, well, it's basically bought with the idea to run Microsoft Office on it, so I can make a PowerPoint, and that's about it. That's as spectacular as it's gonna get. Alright. I'm going overboard with the whiting out now. I definitely am, aren't I? Well, okay. I do feel like this needs a little bit as well. I just might as well take all these lines out, or at least do a little bit. And in the background, I didn't really care about it, but I noticed that when I came to that grass, when I was like, yeah, I do care about it. I do want those lines gone. I'm gonna try and not touch that gem though. I'm just reluctant to do that. Because your lines don't necessarily improve. Because if you go over it, like the color kind of changes. So I feel like it might be better to just keep it as is. But, you know, that's what I thought when I was doing that grass part as well. So I'm just going to grab a finer point. Yes, it's just the green one. Because that one is rather dark, so I'm not going to fiddle with that. So now I can just start coloring over there. Because this has got to be dry. If it's not, then, well, we will find out very, very fast. I'll just be smudging everything. Oh, there's kind of like a light glare anyway, so that lighter color, I feel like I should probably play with that a bit. Because I do feel like there's like an ochre kind of color in there. Just not sure if it's this ochre or if it's, there's a thingy over there, or if it's maybe one of these. I feel like that 179. Now, what I usually do is just check, do I have that 179 in here? And I feel like I can just use that brown ochre, which is this one, the 037. So I'm just gonna sort of lightly start. And this is kind of how we are turning this into less of a rainbow, because it was just a rainbow. It was a weird rainbow. Weirdest rainbow ever. There's some purple there. Still looking a bit weird. just thought that is probably going to make this a very interesting part of this coloring, because it went into weird in the mountains as well, or well, in that valley where it kind of looked off, and then at some point it just kind of all comes together. But here it's looking nothing but off the whole time. So if you're watching and you're thinking, wow, I am really looking forward to see how she is going to fix that, you are not alone. I am right there with you. All right, so there's actually some dark going on here. I'm just going to add that in. Also looking into a new phone, but those are so crazy expensive. Not sure if that would actually, and that's not just for recordings, it's just at some point your phone kind of becomes meh, so you need a new one. But all of a sudden, camera has become important. Alright, so this is that beige, which is, well, definitely, yeah, I'm going to call that mountain colors. So I'm just going to sort of pick a spot and see if we can work our way into creating it. Creating the mountain. No, so first that Van Dyke Brown 045. Just in here, just to create shadow on top, so it kind of feels like it's overlapping or whatnot. There's just so much going on in this. So confusing. And I have turned this into a rainbow, which I haven't done that before, so this is going to be very interesting. This might just be the point where I'm like, oh my god. Throw it away, burn it, whatever, just don't show the people. This is that Sepia 407. I was going to call it Sepia, right? Or Sepia, or wow. It's one of those names. Alright, and now I'm going to just see if I can turn it into something with Brownish Beige. Because, I mean, that whole purple is already gone. Not sure why I blopped that underneath. Ha! Love, grab a gummy bear. Not that I have. I don't have gummy bears. I got those little Coke bottles and the strawberry thingamies, foamy. Yummy. They're just strawberry yummies. Who cares what they are called? More important what it tastes like, right? Ooh, kind of looking like a rock. Yeah, sort of purpley-ish, purplish. It's purplish. Alright, now, I feel like did I grab a yellow? I thought I grabbed a yellow. I felt, for a moment, yes. Is that the golden ochre? Where is my golden ochre? I have made like a complete mess over here. This is the normal ochre, which is, yeah, I could, but I have already decided to use my golden ochre 033, which, I mean, the point is good enough. Because I'm just getting, what part is that? I can't even find it. I'm just some yellow over there. Alright, now I'm probably sort of done with this one, although I'm gonna use it anyways. Because I kind of get that point where I'm thinking, you know, this might be too dark. I'm mostly thinking it's getting too short, because, you know, again, I got into an argument with my other sharpener, feeling like that wasn't centered, but I don't know if I can actually get the zoom, but that is centered. Yet for some reason, my sharpener kind of decided to go weird on it. And since I can't put these in pencil extenders, not anyone that I have, I feel like any excuse not to use it is a good excuse. On the other hand, you do want to kind of make this look good. I'm just kind of creating, well, I guess, shading areas. I mean, can't make it look like the reference exactly, but that's not going to stop us from trying, is it? In the reference, there's kind of like shading and lighting, and just a lot of kinkading going on, I guess. I remember saying that when I was there working around that castle area, like there's nothing and everything is going on at the same time. It's like insane. But, you know, that is what I love about it. It's also why we are aging while coloring, but okay. Well, I feel like it. I can just feel myself get older while I'm coloring. It's just, that's just a me thing. A lot of things are just me things, of course, because, well, I am a bit weird. I am different, and I'm okay with that. So I keep telling everyone, you be you. You know, I like the results, so that to me, it doesn't matter. I like my end result, and I'm pretty sure that's maybe what people could be watching for, that result. Might be while you're coloring along. I guess by now, the people who have at some point asked, like, how do you do it? And me saying, I don't know. And by now, do you believe me? I really don't know. I'm just coloring. Alright, now I feel like this is kind of like in front of everything else, so that means the shading kind of just goes here. And I'll just put some shading here. I'm not sure if shading is the right word, but see, it's starting to look less and less like a rainbow. Which I think was what I was going for. Less of a rainbow look. Because it's not a rainbow, it's the mine entrance. That's all very colorful and fun. Pretty sure a real mine doesn't look like fun. Don't real mines kind of look like stay away? You are going to die? And these have like flowers and fun. So, yeah, different kind of mine. There's like a few lines coming through there, but I'm just not going to be that nitpicky, I think. And I could try, but as soon as I start coloring, that will fade anyways. I do feel like I'm slowly getting there. Slowly getting rid of that whole, well, rainbow feel. Not that rainbows are bad, but they're usually not stuck to a wall. Not like this, anyways. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't dwarfs that were connected with rainbows. Pretty sure that was leprechauns. Is there a difference? Is that same different? I don't know. I should pick up a book sometime and read, so I don't have to ask everything, because I keep asking, like, do you know what it is? And then, I read the comments and there's like nothing to read. Because I making me a very sad dodo. But, you know, while I'm recording this, again, you know, I'm still at the start. I think my oldest video actually says like 2 months, so I haven't been here for that long. It's okay. You know, it does make it kind of hard to figure out what exactly you want to do, because you don't really have like a, well, I guess like a, your regular subscribers who can just tell you. Because again, you know, I would definitely go live, because, well, why not? I'm not filtering much anyways. I mean, every now and then, you know, there's like a noise and I'll filter that out, but other than that, you know, if I like cough, or I actually had one where I dropped my sharpener, so, you know, it would just be me crawling around looking for my sharpener. So I was like, what? Pretty sure I cut that out. So, you know, those are the kind of things you can't really do when you go live. Then, you know, everyone will just listen to you crawling, looking for a sharpener. So I guess that will be the difference. But I don't really filter, because you can't really cut too much. I mean, for those who pay attention, there's like these certain parts where it just goes silent. You know, that could be like a car driving by, or, because, you know, I'm right by the window, so I can hear everything that goes on outside. And so can my mic. So that's a bit of a thing. So I guess if I go live, then I cannot filter those things out. But other than that, you know, everything I say kind of stays in, because you can't really do and cut and do it again, because I can't really uncolor it. So that would just really kind of show. So I'd rather just leave all the nonsense in. You know, I did say I was going to do this like me, and I don't really have a filter, I think. Well, I try not to swear. I mean, not that I swear in my normal everyday life the whole time, every time, but every now and then something happens, and I do feel like, you know, there is no need to do that in a video. I mean, every now and then a bad word might escape me, but I just feel like there's no real need for that. There's already enough of that going on. Swearing for no apparent reason. Alright, now, let's see. We were having a weird rainbow. Now, I was talking about gummy bears. It did look like gummy bears. Why not? The Gummy Bear Mountains. But now, a lot less so. So I think we're going to go into that Brownish Beige, because, where is my list? Where is my list? So this is that, we just use that Van Dyke Brown, and I feel like the following color would be that. I could go for that umber, but we already have a rainbow here, so we don't need more colors. I don't need more color. I do feel like I probably should have gone into more of a gray. I feel like that is what the beige is good for. That is kind of like a, no, it's a more of a gray kind of brown. I'm just gonna go for, what is the lightest one I have? Probably a light beige, but I am so into these colors. I don't know why. And it kind of depends on what page you're coloring. And for this page, I really love these beiges. Just really do. I feel like I've gone too weird on the colors. It doesn't really, wait. Kind of, the last time I could sort of put that together, but I can't right now. But I feel like it's not off by much. I feel like we're sort of headed in the right direction, sort of, which is good enough for me. I feel like it's a bit too dark though, so I'm just gonna go for beige rather than that brown beige, because of course we already added that brown, so that might be why we are getting that very dark kind of effect. So I'll put that brownish beige away, and we are now into the normal beige. Normally I would get that ash gray. I feel like this might actually be that better option, so that very pale yellow. Just kind of see if I can use that in the light areas to make it more fun. So that basically in these three colors, is that ash gray is more like a white, and so is that yellow that I grabbed. Oh, right, that yellow is right there. And that's kind of like white as well. So, but I'm done with that. Oh, I need more pointy. I mean, these points are just amazing. Not really for the burnishy stuff that I'm actually kind of doing right now. Because that's what I guess the technique is. It's like coloring and burnishing at the same time. But that does create that very intense look. Alright, let's see if we can sort of get rid of that purple. It's not supposed to be purple. It's supposed to have a glow of purple glow. It's not supposed to be a rainbow rock. It's supposed to almost look like a rainbow rock. Now, this is again back to that brownish beige because I feel like I did need it. Usually when I put a color away, that's when I decide, no, I do need it. So indecisive. Well, if you have watched more than one video here, you know I'm very indecisive, which is kind of why I'm sharing it. And so far, I share that work in progress stuff, and people did actually ask how I did it. I was like, if people only knew that not everyone who gets a good result is like totally confident the whole time. Because I feel like people are maybe people assume that. But if the end result is good, then you knew what you were doing the whole time. I mean, I just turned it into a rainbow and hoped for the best, really. It's turning out okay, but that is not because I know what I'm doing. It's because I have learned to trust, I guess that my instincts or something. Just to trust that when I feel like I should use a certain color, I mean, very often you would have heard me say that, I'm not sure, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm just going to do it. And then, sometimes it turns into a bit of a mess, and I'm like, oh no, let me just see how I can fix it. And that's I just kind of keep going, keep fiddling. I mean, this looked like a disastrous rainbow. Look at it now, it's starting to look like like rocks. It's starting to look like something now. Told you so. Told you we could do it. I told you and I told me. Ooh, we're getting crumbly. I'm kind of not trying to avoid any lines because it's the lightest color anyways, so this is kind of sort of blending, what? This is why I don't color and drink alcohol. This is why I had to stop the idea of a drinking game. Could you imagine me drinking, coloring, and chatting? I mean, wow. Now, I'm just kind of going over those lines anyways, because this is basically the lightest color that I'm using, so if it kind of drags that dark color over into a light area, I'm so cool with that. I am zen with that, because it would just make it look more real, because mountains and rocks don't have tight lines or something. How do we kind of call that? And all of a sudden, here we have something that actually looks okay. Right. I did actually sort of put this in the screen in a way that I could screenshot it, didn't I? So that means that I can also kind of go back to the past. But you just look at that. And then all of a sudden, it looks good. Especially when the light is different. So let me just... Yeah. I'm still kind of feeling like, could I make this darker? Especially over here. But I'm still kind of debating. Because I can make it very dark. I just go with pencil. That might be good enough. Oh, grumpy stomach again. And again, you know, I'm still not feeling too well. I'm getting better. I feel like I'm getting better, but for some reason, you know, eating just wasn't like I wanted it to be. It's just strange because I love food. I definitely do. Food is one of my favorite things. What's your favorite food? Food. Guess I'm one of those. Not too picky. So it's like double frustrating for me when I just feel like I can't eat. Although I do have like smart solutions for that, generally speaking. Like if you can't eat, usually your ability to drink is still very much there. And I'm not meaning alcohol, but so you can get like smoothies and wherever if you have like these, I don't know, they call them like drinkable breakfast thingies. So there's actually like, well, I think they have like grains or whatever, but it's like actually that is good. You know, it's like a milky kind of drink with like fruit, and you know you got all your stuff in there. So you know, by the time I would get too bad, which never happened by the way, this time I could just solve it by eating sandwiches. But I've had those days where for some reason, or when you're like really sick, I had that too. I don't even know what it was again. It was like, it was before I started coloring, so it had to be like 2019 or something. I don't know. And then you're just sick and bad the whole day, but you know you gotta eat, but you can't eat. But you know, I don't know if that's a thing in all countries, but like it's a smoothie, but more on the cereal kind of side. I don't know, like someone made a smoothie and added some milk and a loaf of bread to it or something. So that's like my golden tip. If you can't eat your food, try to drink it. Which sounds kind of weird, but I used to get those for like on the road when you're not at home. I mean, they were actually like kind of filling and stuff, you know. You drink them and you feel like, you know, okay for at least the next hour. You would actually feel like you ate a sandwich. So, but you know, luckily this time I never had to resort to that. But I'm slowly tuning into a health channel. I shouldn't. Not that I would be the worst person to take your health advice from. Definitely not, but probably not the best either. Because, you know, but I feel like, you know, if you have trouble eating, then, well, anything that helps. Like finding food that you can drink. So I guess the best translation would be smoothies, but, well, stuff like that. I mean, you gotta get your nutrition somehow. If you have to drink it, who cares? It's just whenever we're not eating, we're so focused on the fact that we're not eating that we forget that, you know, you don't have to have an entire meal. Just have parts of it during the day. Just have smaller portions or something. Stop being focused on the fact that you have to eat and just be at peace with the fact that you can't. Alright, I feel like there's something weird going on over there. What is that? How do we... So we did all that coloring and we kept missing that spot. That is... Can I get a sticker for that? I mean, that's just... Wow. How did I do that? Right, now I feel like I could do these diamond things as well. Because they probably don't require a whole lot of colors. But I am going to go into, well, my different set. So I feel this is basically what I'm going to need for that one. Which is a very dark green. Ooh. Is it really this? Or is it really going to be... It's more like that, isn't it? That and that. So the Empire green, if I can find it correctly. One go, 290, Empire green. Because I feel like this would, I mean, I love that green. I don't know why, but I feel like the greens are off somehow. So I'm just really kind of, alright, dark green, I have that. So I feel like this is going to be it. Alright. So there's like dark on this side and just light on top. Can be really that simple. Alright. We will make it that simple. Yeah, I'm gonna need a darker one. Which for me is, well, in this case I'm gonna try the pine green. It should be dark enough. I'm not too sure. Starting with it anyways. Alright, we are going darker. So this is that chrome one. 278. That should really do it. And since I already mentioned loving that 266, I'm just gonna go over that and see if I can give it that oomph. Oh, we are. That's a very oomphy little oomphy. Is that a thing? Alright, now we had a blue one. Well, that's kind of weird, isn't it? I'm just gonna go for fur. I think I said something sapphire. I remember saying something. Wow, 150. This was yesterday. So that is the 150. And I'm just gonna go for night blue because it seems to be my favorite. Yes. Well, it should be sharp enough. I don't know how we have probably the old sharpener, the old handheld. Right now, I'll just put that dark side over there, and then go into a bit of lighter pressure, and then we're gonna add that sapphire. I mean, I am definitely coming back with a Posca because, well, we just need to. Feel like we need to. Into the red. Red. I feel like my red is not gonna be red enough. See, now that's a red. Scarlet. So we got that scarlet. It's not exactly red. It's more like a purpley kind of, I don't know. Could that Indian red be a nice match for that? I should probably go for those though. Just the Indian red with probably mahogany. This might be a better choice. So we got that. I think this is mahogany. This is the mahogany. And this would be the Indian red. Right. So I'm actually putting the red to the side, and this is the mahogany. This is gonna really, it's a bit scary because it's not quite like the reference. And now into that Indian. What a weird kind of point that I created. It's like it has a hook. Which means it's probably more prone to breaking. This is probably more what I was looking for. Now I am going to do stars with a little bit of white first. I actually have a reason for doing that, because I feel like the Posca that I'm going to use to go over this, it kind of soaks into the paper, which I don't want. So if I just lay down some pencil first, it should kind of stay on top of that white pencil rather than soaking in. You do have to really get that clean. Now, I guess if you don't have a Posca or a Posca with that small nib, you might just use a gel pen or something, I don't know. Or, because we kind of colored around them, you can just leave it. That's an option. And again, yes, I'm a little perfectionist. So. I'm try to get it as accurate as possible. Although I do feel like this point is already too much. Can't use it on the side, which we put there. There's me being nitpicky, but probably if you check on the camera, it looks just fine. And there's a little bit of a shimmer going on over here. Doesn't have to be too much, but it has to be there. And then there's a shimmer on this little again. And there's definitely a little bit of a shimmer over here. Oh, look at that. Oh, shimmer and shiny. If I just, because it looks kind of weird right now, but if I make sure that the light is not on there, that just looks good, doesn't it? And it looked like a weird rainbow. But it's not a rainbow anymore. It definitely kind of looks like that. I mean, this is way more defined, but I don't feel like I failed over there. I'm actually kind of happy with the way it turns out. Yeah, especially that green gem, that's really like standing out. Because it is over there, and it's like some shadow. And mine is really like sticking out, so, but not like a sore thumb. So is the blue, and I feel good. So I really did feel like I was gonna get started on, I think his name was Happy. I was really kind of hoping, but I mean, we already have a bit of a long video, so I don't know if I'm not sure if I'm definitely gonna start on him. But I mean, I have been talking about that little guy, so I might as well just give him some color. Finally get a dwarf done, that would be nice. That's what we're all here for. We are all here for the dwarves. So I have pencils rolling around everywhere, which is also why, you know, these little breaks for me are really kind of awesome. So that I can sort of make room for everything. I mean, time-wise, yes, it's going to be long. Although I'm pretty sure, you know, after editing, I'll be cutting things out. It might be a little bit shorter, but, you know, this took forever. But keep in mind, we went from weird rainbow, we went from gummy bear slide to that, so I'm good. And, you know, we also fixed, like, that bridge and that. I mean, I do think it looks better. I'm gonna double check once I've done, like, the things in front of it. I mean, I should ask, you know, if you have any questions, you know, just drop them in the comments, and, you know, I could see if I can just answer the questions in, well, the next video. But I feel like by the time I get to the next video, there's still gonna be no comments. So yes, people, if you do see that the comment section is still very empty, you know, maybe you could just say something, I don't know, some feedback, or just, you know, be gentle. So yeah, I'm thinking next time, I feel like I must do the dwarf. I must, because I got sort of started, and we are all excited to do a dwarf, at least one. So I'm just saying that we're gonna do that. And I do feel like it's kind of a bit smudgy from all the brown. So. Can you see that on the camera? I'm seriously still wondering if that is from the coloring, because if I take like another picture, I feel like that is like from the other page or something. Like that reference is sort of, because I mean, while coloring, I have that protection thing underneath. I'm guarding it, but I do feel like, you know, it was lying in a store or a storage, or what, it was somewhere. So maybe that reference had all that time to smudge up their heads, or hats, I should say. Well, at least he's got his makeup done. I mean, that does look more white, but oh well. I mean, that turned out good. I mean, it took forever, but I mean, just look at it. It looks good, good. I'm happy. Although it kind of looks like it bumped its knee. Not that they have knees, but it's one of those things that I should leave it alone for now and see if I can sort of fix it the next time. So yeah, I guess for now we are at the point where I do ask to like and subscribe, and, you know, maybe leave a little something nice in the comments, feedback, you know, just be gentle. So next time, Happy. I think his name was Happy. I hope my Google skills are still on point, because I am looking forward to a dwarf. So yes, we are doing a dwarf, and, you know, we'll see what else. So yeah, for now, I thank you very much for watching. I do hope to see you back for Where Are We At? Well, the next one will be part 13. Lucky 13. What could go wrong? Oh well, we shall find out. Well, I hope we will. So, well, I guess for now, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a good one.